Hello from Southern California. This is the DealershipNews.com podcast, where we bring you the new and old school insight into the business of selling cars and service so you have the foresight to grow your dealership and stay ahead of the competition. I'm Kelly Kleinman, and here is our show. Hello, everybody. Kelly here with our quick cast, and today we have with us Mr. Jeff Clark, the president of Social Dealer. Jeff has been doing a whole bunch of automotive for right around 20 years, and now he's spearheading one of the top social media technology companies in our industry. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you.
Without further ado, you guys have won the Dealership News Social Media Vendor of the Year for 2019. It's a repeat. Congrats to Social Dealer.
Well, thank you. It's truly an honor.
What sets you apart from those other guys? I mean, I think I know, but why don't you tell the good folks? What sets you apart from the comp?
Yeah, I think at our core, we were born out of a dealership. So our founder and chairman, a gentleman by the name of Joe Castle, came up through the dealership world. And Joe, more than a dozen years ago, saw a need to really kind of change how his family dealership was advertising. Not that there's anything wrong with traditional media, but they were so entrenched in it that's, where literally every advertising dollar they had was going into traditional media. And that's great if you're the big guy on the block, but if you're the small guy and you're trying to compete, it's really kind of difficult. So at an OEM event, I believe the way he shares the story, Mark LeNave had talked about car buying is going to change and people are going to use social media to start, acquiring vehicles and gathering information. So that was really born Facebook 1.0, where it was really about likes, shares, and comments, and you were really using it as a branding play. And then over time, we've just morphed into a company that's really about creating a frictionless purchase experience. People consume media in a number of different facets. While I've spent more than 20 years of my career being on the digital side, I still enjoy the traditional newspaper on a Sunday with a cup of coffee. But that's only one of multiple places where you gather information. So we were really born out of a dealership. Even today, the technologies that we release, the things that we provide to our dealers are tested inside of our own dealerships before we ever take it to a beta phase with a larger group of dealers, and certainly before we ever roll it out to the public.
Usually the Sunday newspaper is about as thick as My Weekly Reader, if you
Right.
remember My Weekly Reader.
I remember it.
We both dated ourselves. Well, Jeff, since I have you here now, how does the trajectory of Facebook marketing, for car sales look these days, and what percentage of a social media savvy dealership sales can it account for?
Great question. Facebook has really invested a tremendous amount of capital resources, both in intellectual power and financial dollars, into being a lead generation tool. Again, if you think of Facebook 1.0, where I think still the large majority of dealers are operating, they're thinking that those likes and those comments and shares really weigh heavily on their business. And while they have an impact, likes and shares don't really have an impact. It's more about the comments and the influence that maybe you or I may share. Hey, that's a great looking F-150, or that's a great looking Silverado. What they're really looking to do is to use audiences and to use data that is readily available to us today to target people that are specifically in the market. So they've now broken into a multitude of ad sets, and those ad sets are targeted whether we're looking to target someone for service or merely brand awareness to let you know that my dealership's in the market and I'm able to service for you what you may need with your particular brand. But more importantly, they're looking to drill down to a VIN-specific vehicle. So let's say, for instance, you're an Audi fan, you see an A6 or an S6 on the road, it's of interest to you. We now want to deliver to you right to the vehicle details page, right to that specific vehicle that's in your local market, based on your interest and based on your intent. And then we can deliver ads and content and retarget you as you go through that buying cycle. So Facebook's really bringing a lot of very advanced solutions available to the dealer to provide a very cost-effective mechanism for them to be able to generate more car sales and more service. In terms of a percentage of dealers, Your more advanced dealers are already there, and they're spending a tremendous amount of their budget in not only Facebook, but Instagram and in other social media advertising channels. You're seeing the likes of Snapchat come along. You're seeing the likes of TikTok and Pinterest and LinkedIn and others. Different strokes for different folks. So whether the dealer is pro social media or not, it's an avenue today that you're finding literally millions of consumers on, and they're taking cues from their friends, from their influencers, and that's helping drive sales that are at a much more cost-effective and a higher throughput rate than what you're going to see in a lot of other advertising forms.
What percentage of a dealership sales does social media account for? Are they at 10%, 8%, 15 even?
It can vary. It varies on the brand, it varies on the market, and it varies really on how aggressive the dealers are. Today, dealers are still underspending over what they're capable of doing. The equation I oftentimes share with people, Kelly, have you ever played poker?
Not very well, but yeah.
I don't play poker very well either. You know if I'm going to take you out, and you know if I'm bluffing. The challenge with poker is if you don't have enough money to stay in the game, you're out, and you're out relatively quickly. And that's true, especially in social media. We see markets and brands that can spend $8,000, $10,000 a month in paid ads, yet they're spending 2 or 3. So what are they seeing versus what they're capable of seeing? You can see as little as 6 to 10%. You can see as much as 20% and above. It just really depends on how well you're maximizing your ads, who's powering it, right? And what's your message? The trick with social media is you need to be different. If you're using the same canned ads with a come on, it's got to be payment. It has to be lease driven. It has to be, you buy this car for X, message us here. Successful ad campaigns are tied to Messenger. Dealerships inevitably, as much as I love them and they're in my blood, you need to be there when the customer's interested. So using things like Messenger to communicate with the consumer and lock them into an appointment, you're going to see a significantly higher success rate. Your ROI is going to be there. You're going to get more appointments, and more appointments, more ups is going to equate to more sales. So great question. I think on the low side, you're looking 5 to 8%. On the high side, you can be 20, 25% of your total sales can come from social media. The one thing that I would want to share with your audience, and I talk about this whenever asked, we don't ever take credit for a car sale. That's where we differentiate ourselves versus a lot of other advertisers in the market. What we do is we simply let you know that we contributed to the sale. Attribution in automotive sales and digital is huge today. Where did that sale come from? It's oftentimes hard to pin down, and oftentimes it's what we refer to as last click attribution. So while you may have seen that car on the road, then you saw the television ad, then you saw something in a magazine, then you went to the manufacturer website, then you all of a sudden went to one of the national portals, then you all of a sudden found yourself on a dealer website, and next thing you know, lo and behold, you're getting a Facebook ad. How do you as a dealer point back to what drove that sale, right? Was it when you saw the car on the road? Was it a friend? What was the influence? So a lot of what we look at and think about is how much of a contribution, how many different touch points did social media have for you, Kelly, or me, Jeff, to contribute to that sale?
That's a great answer, by the way. I've worked a lot of Facebook campaigns, and it was always the CPA. How much am I spending to get that customer, right? So I would just think that if it's, that would be a major factor in how much I want to spend. I think maybe, and you're the one doing it, not me. I never did automotive. I did it for other products, but you can get gun shy when you're running around $400 or $500 when your CPA and traditional advertising is $200, $250, whatever. So I guess, but look, you could sell a car and have it up for 5 minutes. So it's an average, right, over time.
It's an average over time. And where we really see the power of social media having just such an impact is not just the paid ad piece. It's a holistic approach. Mm-hmm. So you need to think about social, you need to think about your reputation, but then more importantly, once you've established an organic footprint, right, what's your community involvement? you and I both shared prior to us kicking off this podcast, our love of baseball, right? Those are things that tie you to the community, whether you're supporting Babe Ruth or the local, Loudon Little League or, whatever that program is, travel baseball. Now the community is following the content because it's baseball related. And now you start to realize that there's a dealership behind it sponsoring those uniforms and sponsoring that travel league. What is your reputation in the market? How do you give back? And then you kind of move into the ad component of it. So again, it's holistic. While you can buy the exposure, you want to take a balanced approach. You want to use organic, you want to use reputation, and you want to use ads and you want to use them targeted. But where it then gets more exciting is what we call event messenger blitzes. So this weekend, we're having a inventory sell down, or we're having this got too many cars in stock, hail damage sale, 4th of July, double your tax rebate event. One of the promotions we're currently running right now is double your tax rebate. Now that's going to get somebody's attention. Now, whether it's 2,000 becomes 4,000 or 5 becomes 10, but that has a limited shelf life, right? Because tax season really runs from February 1 until April 15th, right? But if one weekend a month, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're set up to have that momentum going on and you're all about the tax rebate and you're all about making deals, you're going to move a tremendous amount of metal for a very, very low cost per lead acquired, as well as a low cost per unit sold. So the thing with social media, you have always on campaigns, and then you have campaigns that run in certain windows, but for a specific reason. And the one thing I caution people, when everything's special, nothing's special. When everything's on sale, nothing's on sale. So if it's going to be special, let's make it special. If it's going to be on sale, let's make it a wow sale. Let's make it something really tremendous. And that's where social media gives a lot of power to retail automotive dealers. And frankly, to other verticals, you just have to really think it through. It's something as simple as, hey, here's a $50 gift card. If you come in and test drive a vehicle, regardless, we're going to buy you dinner. So now I've got you in my showroom. Now, hey, I'm going to buy you dinner. And there's a good chance that not only will you have had a positive experience, you now know what your vehicle's worth on a trade. We've now established a relationship and you've made a decision if you like that vehicle or if you like something else within my inventory. So just a lot of great things that can be done. And there's more exciting things coming from social media, but certainly something for dealers in the audience that's listening to this today to think about. When they're on a push and they need to move units, it doesn't mean you need to change agencies or social media companies, but partner with someone who knows how to run these events so you can move an extra 20, 30, 40 vehicles over a 3 or 4 day period, depending upon the size of your inventory and what your message is. But a great way to give your sales a shot in the arm.
So it's an all-encompassing approach, and that's why you're called social dealer, not social media dealer. It's
correct.
Reputation, it's strategy, it's execution, it's all those good things that make you social dealer, our vendor of the year for social media. Thank you so much.
Well, it's our pleasure. And it's exciting. I mean, clearly you probably pick up on the passion in me. I'm a car guy through and through, love cars. And I think when you can deliver something to someone in a medium that they're comfortable with, our company and our parent company really believes in a frictionless transaction. Car buying doesn't need to be difficult. I'll share a funny with you. I'll go to a charity fundraiser or I'll be somewhere and someone will say, Jeff, what do you do for a living? Well, I work in the technology sector and specific automotive advertising. Oh, the car business. Oh my God. So it's either it's really wonderful and I've had a great experience, which is rare, or I hate buying a car. How do you do it? And it doesn't need to be that way. It's certainly not that way for me. And I don't think it's that way for a good portion of people, but they don't know what to trust and they don't know what to believe. One dealership selling one vehicle with a specific stock number can show 4 different prices through different advertising mediums. So you can see one price in the newspaper and one price in an email campaign and one price when you go to the website. And then you go to cars.com or Auto Trader or CarGurus or one of these other portals that people go to for information, now you see a different price. So all you've done is instill in the customer caution, beware, wait for the other shoe to drop. That shouldn't be the case. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on between ourselves and our sister company, we pass through as transparent of information as we can. If your credit score is between this level and this level, you can expect your payment to be here or there. And frankly, if we have a more in-depth partnership with the dealer where we're pulling DMS data, I can send an ad campaign to a consumer that'll give them their payment to the penny, provided they don't change and add certain F&I products while they're in, which we hope they do. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that the more transparent, the more clear, the more seamless with digital transaction and online retailing that you can do, there is going to come a day when buying a car online is just going to be like ordering something from Amazon. It'll be delivered to your door, paperwork will be done, and it'll be simple. There'll always be a need for the physical brick and mortar dealership because people have questions. They want to smell things, drive things, touch things, get additional information. And frankly, there are some consumers that want to hassle. They want to haggle. They want to negotiate. They want to feel like they've accomplished something. That's not the case with most consumers. They want a frictionless, seamless, easy, simple, and trustworthy transaction. And social media is one of the best ways to do that.
Well, I really appreciate it, Jeff. Last question. What does, excuse me, I'm dealing with bad case of allergies over here and a lot of wind blowing in SoCal. What do you guys have in store for 2020? What's the new buzzword?
We got a whole lot going on in 2020. We're continuing to evolve our technology platform. We continue to automate a lot of our solutions. We're bringing more enhanced custom content and video into our ads, into our offering. I think one of the greatest things, our sister company, a company called AdVid, we're now going to be able to real-time generate ads with VIN-specific content that is an actual video of that vehicle. That's going to change the game for consumers. If you look at the amount of usage and eyeballs to YouTube, it's incredible. People love video. And I think when you can deliver real-time dynamic content to a consumer that has all the information they need in an easy way to set an appointment without having to get on the phone with the dealership or without having to walk in, and you've already begun the process and now you understand what your trade is worth, and it's going to move to an Amazon Prime model. You're going to get that personalized service. We're moving to a time when very soon, when you hit a website, I know it's you. I have your service records. I have your history. Every time you show up, you don't have to re-enter your information and tell me who you are. So we're moving to a point where I now recognize you as being a multi-time purchaser or customer or a current customer of mine, and not, Kelly, give me your name, give me your street, give me your phone number. So we're trying to bring, again, that frictionless experience. Social media is just one of a number of pillars from an omni-channel marketing perspective that we're looking to use to leverage and improve the entire car buying experience.
Well, thank you very much. Best to Kelly Bedrosian. Her and I are in touch from time to time online on email. And again, congratulations. Social.
Well, thank you.
Jeff Clark, appreciate it. I'll see you in a couple weeks in Las Vegas. Won't be at a poker table, but it'll be on the floor.
Well, I look forward to it. Stop by our booth. We got all kinds of cool swag, and we'd love to share with you and anyone else who's interested how they can leverage social media to sell and service more cars.
Love me some swag. And oh, by the way, we're believers in video. We had 35,000 video views just last month. So
nice. Congratulations.
Spades. Take care, Jeff.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.